Okay, I want to share a little bit about what actually went into making this book, writing it, editing it, designing it, everything. I know that there's some people that want to write a book, and I think everybody should write a book, especially those that want to. I think that you grow so much from writing a book. So I'm actually going to share some things that might be considered mistakes. And I mean, just you decide. So I basically, like, if I look at the totality of my experience in writing this book, I think that this is like probably one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. Would I have done it differently? I can't go back in time and change anything, so I'm going to go ahead and say no, I would have done it exactly how I did it. Would I write my second book the same exact way that I approached this book and paid for the same type of services? Fuck no. And I'm already pretty into my second book. I'm like a year into it now, so I've got a solid draft on it. But so this book took me about 5 years to actually finish writing. I believe I started it either in 2014 or 2015, around that time. And it originally, I was given the suggestion to take emails that I had written to my email list and just string them together as a book and like put them into chapters. And I didn't want to do that. I started to do that and it didn't feel right. It felt discombobulated. And the vision that I had for this book was to make it more of a work of art. So I scrapped the original draft after probably 1 or 2 years of fiddling with it. And I just completely redid it. Like I reapproached it. So I hired two different people to help me actually write the book and finish it. So the first one was a book coach, and I paid her $13,850 for two services. The first one was for an outline. The second one was for a critique, like a year later. So the outline was $8,250. The critique was $5,600. Grand total $13,850. I paid for that with my own money. I didn't borrow that. I didn't put it on a credit card. I literally paid for that. And, that's debatable whether it's, valuable to hire a book coach. She was very high priced from my perspective. To some people, that's not a lot of money. It depends on your level of income. At the time, that was very high priced for me. So what happens when you pay somebody that kind of money is you really pay attention to what they're telling you to do and you take it seriously. And I think the best thing that I got out of that is I matured as a person. So the person I was when I first started working with her versus the person at the end of that, I matured a lot. So would I hire a book coach again on my second book? No, I don't need it. I know how to structure an outline. I know how to write, and I definitely don't need that. Would I recommend that to somebody? I would say it's up to you. Like, do you need it? It's up to you. What does your conscience tell you? What does your intuition tell you? I just wanted to work with this particular person. I met her at an event. I liked her hair and I had a conversation with her and I was like, okay, she's a book coach. That's really cool. And she was really good at selling me on the phone. She had a conversation with me, asked me questions about what I wanted for the book, my vision for it, and it just was really cool. So, it was a whole experience in itself. The second person I worked with was a book editor, and I paid her like $1,600 for a developmental edit. And so she took the draft that I had from working with the book coach, which I didn't feel was quite right, even after all that work. And the editor was much more in tune with my voice and what I really wanted to do with the book. And she like reworked it and, gave me suggestions on it. And I basically ended up not using anything from the book coach that I did. And we revamped it again. Now that editor was way less costly, $2,000 versus $13,000. But the editor actually gave me way more value. It clicked a little bit better. Like, I mean, I would say it clicked way better. And the book coach, you know, there was like different things about that dynamic. So when you hire people, you really have to hire based on their skill and whether or not you want to be like them or have some kind of quality that they have. So that is now my filter for hiring somebody is, do they have something I want? Do they have a result that I want? Or do they have some kind of quality that I want more of? And so the book coach didn't actually have either of those. Looking back on it, not to say that she's a bad person, but she didn't have exactly what I wanted. And so, I don't think that she was the right fit for me. But the thing with business is you make the decision and then you make the decision right. So I learned a ton from working with her, but it wasn't like the right outcome, if that makes sense. So I'm not dismissing it, but I'm saying like, it's a good learning experience for sure. So then to actually publish the book, because this is self-published. So once the draft was all done and my editor, looked over my final copy, she charged me like another $300. So it was like $2,000 total to work with the editor. And I would definitely work with her again. I'm already working with her on my second book. So editor is way more valuable to me personally than a book coach. So to publish the book, I hired a company that self-publishes, and I paid them like $4,600, so almost $5,000. And that was $549 for an editorial review, which they require, and then like $2,400 for like their whole launch package, $1,451 for a copy edit, $249 for help with the back cover copy, so grand total $4,690. So I spent over $20,000 making this book. Now, usually when you make something and you want to sell it, you want to like make a profit on it. So that's a big lesson. I wanted this book to be a work of art. So it took 5 years to make it, edited the shit out of it, redid it, and, went through that whole process. There's like design, there's layout. You don't know until you go through the process, but it's a lot of work. You learn a lot. It's a lot of growth. Now I am giving this book away for free as a PDF, and you can just get that on my website, antimarketingmanifesto.com. So anybody can download this. If you want to buy a copy of it, you can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or wherever they sell it. And so, I made this, I poured my heart and soul into it. Everybody who's read it, who actually finished reading it, has loved it so far. The only negative reviews were from people who did not read it. They had a problem with me, not the book, and that's where the negative review came from. So their feedback doesn't even count. You have to actually read the book to have a valid opinion about the book. It's kind of obvious. So yeah, everything's been like high reviews on this, which I'm proud of. I am talking too much and my throat is like dying right now. Oh God. I'm gonna have to end the video here. But yeah, that's my process. You have to decide if you want to make something a work of art and invest like all this energy into perfecting it. I'm literally dying right now. Or if you want to put something out quickly that's perhaps not a work of art, but it gets the job done. So that's the main point of this video. Do you want to spend all that effort creating a masterpiece, or do you want to quickly get something out there that like does the job, gets the job done? I can't even talk. And I would say like it's a personal choice. I think I'm an artist at heart, so I like spending time on my work. I like making it quality. But at a certain point, I probably do spend too much time on it. And in the aim of making it beautiful, making it perfect, not perfect, but just like so quality. In that end, I probably do. I definitely do lose money because I'm not like putting it out there. So I'm taking note of that as a lesson to myself as I'm making my course. So I'm developing a course around this book, and it's already like pretty substantially done. I'm just fleshing out the material, and it's I'm really excited for that because it's gonna walk you through this as if I'm like there with you and I'm showing you and I'm guiding you how to do it yourself. So that's gonna be really exciting. So I'm not gonna make the course like super duper perfect. I wanna launch it quickly and then see what the results are. So I hope that's helpful. I'm not like trying to brag about how much money I spent. I'm actually a little embarrassed that I spent that much. 4 years ago, I was bragging about that amount of money that I spent because I was like, oh, look at me, I'm spending all this money. But that's not really the goal in business. The goal is to make a profit. And, you know, this book is part of my business. It's now a lead magnet. It's how I get people subscribed to my email list and all that. And it has opened doors for me. I have gotten clients who read the book and loved it and reached out to me. So that's pretty cool. I have made royalties off of this book, which I'm also proud of. The publisher's in Canada. So, yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, I would say it's a ton of work. It's going to weed out the weak. If you want to write a book, go for it. It's going to be a lot of work. Find a good editor. I don't think you need a book coach, but definitely you need an editor. I have edited books for clients. It's a lot of work. And, you know, that's not my main specialty, but I've edited at least 5 or 6 books by now, I think. Every single one of them has been a bestseller. So, you know, but that's not my main service that I offer. I'm not trying to get booked solid as an editor. I literally don't have time for that. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's worth doing. And it's definitely worth doing if you're in business because, you know, it can be a lead magnet. It can be another product you sell. It can just be a way that you reach people, a way that you touch their hearts and souls and all of that. So yeah, I'm signing off now.